one, Sunni Patterson.
How many people here from New Orleans? Who's from New Orleans? Oh, all right, there we go. We got a good New Orleans contingency here. That's how it moves. Let's go ahead and get started because we got a bunch of beautiful poets. I mean, like physically beautiful. And just the words, what it is that they bring is something. But at any rate, how many more examples of destruction will it take for us to lift this veil of ignorance that drapes our faces? We place hands over ears, eyes closed, mark mute, walk dead, have to, because they shoot before we speak. But when you know the truth of what they do to those who refuse to believe in the lies they feed now, it's either we would crawl and give in feeling helpless under the pressure, or we would remember. We would remember how to walk like warriors, how our feet are on the shoulders of giants, how we've conquered chaos before. We've compromised our divinity far too long, and all at the hands of an oppressive entity that deliberately aims to kill. And still they will use poison and steel or cotton and fields, take trillions of dollars, pollute all the water, destroy everything from Phoenix to Florida, then still find time to pimp your daughter or sodomize your son, turn two parents into one, because one is never enough in this world of too much. Oh, here is the classic equation. Divide up a family, multiply mommy's movements, because daddy didn't move when no responsibility can ever find him. Add in depression and bitterness, subtract the encouragement, then watch the percentages fill up the prisons. You see, we are master mathematicians, exponents of confusion. We be choosing death as if there are no other options left, or right, up or down, shiftless vagabonds roaming around searching for something safe, seeking, never finding or recognizing the space inside, that soft, quiet sound that doesn't compete with the crowd of voices or the violent volume. In here is the value of you. So now this is like a vowel. It's standing in the midst of clanging consonants. It's constant. It's a kind reminder of the connection of us when so often we have been picked apart, separated, and sorted as casual as laundry. After all, they say we should never mix the colors and the whites, right? Okay, well, now, on the other hand, there was a time, right? There was a time when Mr. always preferred Mammy over the Mrs. Forced crinkled fingers in crevices too sacred to mention. And though this has happened time and time again now, she still flinches at the scent and sight. But this time, she placed something inside whereby twilight on the third, not say I'm in New Orleans, I talk like this. She placed something inside whereby twilight on the third night of the fourth week, he would be gone and no one would miss him, not even his children. Herein is the power of the medicine men. It's the gree of the conjure women, them who make charms that ward off harm, them fighters forming freedom around their feet so that wherever they walk, their souls would know that liberation lives wherever they go, and wherever they go, the Spirit of God is them who see the pattern of God in the stars, whether that be in the sky or in your eyes, them light-bodied beings speaking love in an atmosphere filled with fear. Oh, here they come, lips laced with prayer, bearing gifts given by the great one who gives the best gifts. They lift their hands in gratitude, bidding us to rise. They call us to our higher selves. They remind us we can fly or just feel what it's like to live with no holds, no holes, no has, just whole, because Lord knows it only takes one reason for the biggest believer to become the most unfaithful. But ain't that how the world go? Create a slither of doubt, and then soon it turns out to be this mountain of madness. Oh, this is hell in a handbasket. It's bastard children playing hide and seek between dilapidated buildings and shards of concrete. There are no playgrounds in these towns, no jungle gyms for them, no green space dedicated for relaxation or shelter when the sky rains bombs or the breeze blows bullets or the earth can't stop her shake. Take a moment. Let us reflect on this mess we have made. We have rejected nature's voice, all in search of material gain, donning the rags of the disastrously insane. My God, not this again. Not the different name, same situation again. Not to declare war, all in the name of peace, again and again and again and again and again and again and again. But then again, my God, thanks be to God, there are them who can rouse us from our drowsiness, who save us from our haphazardness, who assist in realigning our energies with heavenly elements, and there are skeptics who will balk. Oh, now there she go with that dreamer talk, as if every masterpiece didn't first start from just a thought. If only we could see through the eyes of our hearts and go straight to the matter, eliminate the rhetoric, strip everything down to its natural essence, and it is there we will find the answer, the greatest, the only example, and by far the most revolutionary weapon we all have, and that is love. All right.
From New Orleans, Louisiana, Kataalyst.
I am because of those who've come before me. They who could no longer step and fetch it for pennies, or blackface for wooden nickel promises of walking in the front door, when against every odd they developed a double consciousness. You see, the cognitive dissonance of being African in America, it is a speck of sand in the crawl coated over to the point that it purls to the size of a dream. A dream of owning one's own soul, a dream too real not to become true, for we have gone gentle into that good night too many times and have been awoken by the hands that crack the whips. I breathe in the dust of those so mighty and swift, they give me strength when there is none. When I was young, I was spoon-fed archetypes too bitter to trust. I have fasted for truth in the gardens of Babylon and found substance in the solace of my own history. I have learned that my stock survived those ships to write the stories of the ghettos of desire, who've been waiting for Godot, who have contemplated suicide while singing in those cotton fields. They know how this world still prefers us in our most niggardly state. This world does not understand we have never stopped being the sands of Egypt, the blood all over Baltimore, the shrapnel of Greyhound buses burning for freedom, the speeches of Stokely and Martin and Malcolm and Garvey mixing in the smoking cauldron of Harriet's fired shotgun, for too many have fell victim of thinking what is good for the oppressor must be good for us. And we can't have that. We can't have us speaking these old colonial lies with our brown mouths, our brown, regal, tribe-maker mouths, our always trendsetter, melanated, commodified skin, our holiest of holy project survival kit of bones and brains and heart and tongue. There is nothing we have ever needed but the remembrance of us, of they who taught how to gumbo pop a stomach, knocking at the door of oppression with a pen in one hand and a machete in the other, all while bearing a back of busted, open, salty wounds, breathing in the southern air. Let not their deaths be in vain. When this world begs you to forget your past, it will own your future. When looking directly into the wilt of the slash, let your heart pump rhythms of never again, never again. Do not forget the sun in your skin, those cuts in your toes, those keys in your heart passed down from generations. Know that before the temple of knowledge will always swing the gates of toil, and we have been building monuments of perseverance in the shapes of cotton bundles ever since those southern code switches have been flipping interstellar coordinates into songs of drinking gourds. We are because of those who have come before us. They were bent over, picking master teachers out the pockets of the galaxy, humming healing songs for the wave of the future. For you be that wave of the future. Can you not hear them? Are you still sleeping? You kings of Nefertiti, you queens of Lovachor, are you still sleeping?
While the rise in crime is often publicized about Chicago, poet Real Talk uses his platform to show a different view of the city. He believes Black people are making serious strides, but many times our efforts can be overlooked.
Man, one thing I love about my city is like, whatever you put your mind to, like, you can achieve it. That's one thing I learned about Chicago, is that we're really determined. You know, if you can do, Chicago is a city of doers. Ownership is important. When you don't own things, somebody else can pull the rug up under you, you know? And so I'm blessed and thankful to have spoken word, have given me like the platform for entrepreneurship and ownership, you know, like, so to be able to pop up at an open mic and sell my books or sell my CDs, you know, and to be able to, as my grandmama would say, write your own ticket. A lot of artists have their own space, you know, to free their mind. high ceilings, places where you can think, critical thinking, and some people have coffee shops, some people have studios. And for me, one place where I can go and find peace and quiet is like here at the South Loop Hotel. And it's a bunch of beautiful art on the walls in here, and you see remnants of jazz. And we're in historical Bronzeville, one of the starting points or ending points rather, of the Great Migration. Our folks came up from Louisiana, Mississippi, and they came on up here and to Chicago, and this is one of the first places that they really started settling. It's great to have all those energies intact while you're here studying. It's just a beautiful establishment.
From Chicago, Illinois, Real Talk.
What's good, people? How you doing? Black woman will literally love you to death. That's all she knows. She can fix anything. I'm talking, you treat me wrong, but I still love you, love. Because I'm a nurturer. I knew you before you did. I see you. I've seen you. I'd be lying when I say I didn't even notice that. I've been noticed that. Feel that. I've been felt that. She be the closest thing to God. Low key, she be God. High key, because we already knew that, just couldn't put it in the words, so we called it magic. She be the closest thing to God because life happens inside of her. Brothers be talking about, yeah, she just had another baby. Like that be commonplace. Like that be ordinary. Like that don't be extraordinary. Like that don't be remarkable. A brother's seed be cool and all, but that seed sow in her tummy and grow to becoming as big as you and I are right now at this moment, fully functioning. That's a big deal. Black women love you to life. Black women love you to your best self because she believe in you. She love you, you don't. She love you, you can't. You don't love you, so you think she speak foreign language when she talk about loving you. Like, she speak me. And I don't understand a word, but it sound good. Feel good. It's heaven. She be heaven. She fit in box begrudgingly, and you still don't know she don't want to be in there. But she be in there. She be she in there. She be her in there. She meet you in there because that's where you be at. I could get used to this, she say. If it means loving black man, well, black boy now, because black boy gonna be man one day. If I have anything to do with it, which I do, he just don't know it yet. He will one day. She believe in him. She study him. She speak life into him. She speak why into him so he can see right into him. She speaks right into him. He break her heart. She teach him lesson, grow from heartbreak and come back stronger. She reinvent herself. More magic, all while feeding the neighborhood. More magic, home cooked meals. More magic, all while doing hair in its natural state. Throw any girl at her, she whip butters like I can't believe it's not, no matter the curl pattern. More magic. No sleight of hand, just caress of palm, gentle touch, she be delicate, not without strength. She read me my rights when I need to treat myself better. So selfless. It could have only been Harriet, bro. It could have only been Harriet, bro. Brothers be like, if Harriet was a man, but she wasn't. If Harriet was a man, she might be Nat Turner, let's paint her. And he helped a lot, but she was a chess player. He's like, let's kill them all, wait and see. She's like, let's go and keep a gap for safety so we can build a legacy. She protected the village on several different trips. You try to commandeer the voyage, you was over with, boy. She be Claire Huxtable, comfortable in her own skin. And with yours, she be loyal before. She be loyal, girl, I just met you. She be loyal before. She understands you. Just so you can see her. She understands you. Just so you can see her. She gives Galaxy and asks you for a lemonade stand. Really just the lemons. She multiplies whatever you give her. She's a giver. She delivers. She be liver, drunk in love, cirrhosis all over her because she love you to death. And she don't want to have to love you that way. But if that's the only language that you speak, then she'll take classes in it. Whatever you need, she'll have you with it. She grabs you with it. She hear people talking stuff about black man. She ain't having it. She be like, word to the eclipse. She be like, don't talk about my son. I rotate around him and he keep me warm. And give me light. Moon do too. Who grew you? Where your mama at? 90% of black folks love they mama facts. 99% love they grandmama Jack. And if you don't, And if you don't, or you can't, or you won't, I can't relate to you.
From Houston, Texas, Ebony, Stewart.
Woman does not emerge from man's ribs, not ever. It is he who emerges from her womb. Nizar Kabani, 1. In the beginning, God told Eve she did not need a man to exist. It is he who keeps hissing to be born. It is he who only has a rib to give. It's your choice, your body to stew blood and eat your own fruit with. You have all the ribs you need, God said. This will only be balloon acting as bone. Eve said, yo, let it flow. I'll teach him how to protect me. Then after, man will have purpose. 2. He asked if he can touch her. This is back when man knew woman as human, more than an afterthought. Remember when woman was more than a safe place to rest? Man, remember to ask, can I touch your holy? Eve said yes. Drowned him in all her grace, wrote him an ocean's worth. He asked if he could put it in her mouth. She said, I am still speaking. He said, swallow me. She said, I am still tasting myself. He said, teach me how to give birth. She said, you cannot handle the war wombs bring. I'm made of geography. I know this land, hips and thighs, how sweet it is. 3. For several months, Eve is a forest fire, makes her body a place no one can afford, feels like she let someone borrow her and now they never want to give her back. There's a quiet riot inside of me, Eve said. Anyone who thinks women are delicate and breakable can't remember the ways in which they were born. 4. Eve stretches her eyes and bones wide. Man can only offer breathing. He is still afloat. The room smells like shit and burning sky. All she can do now is hope something else doesn't break again. God will reach in, pulling back baby, wearing her first. Man, forgetting woman, will say, that's mine. Look at what the Lord has made. Then after, woman will be mispronounced. He said, it's a boy. She said, let the baby decide. He said, goddamn woman. She said, impossible, ungrateful man. It is my emotions that saved you. Without me, it's unlikely you'd survive. 5. You are what your mother is. Therefore, God is a woman, the beginning of everything. Look at what the Lord has made. Thank you.
Y'all so quiet. Y'all all right? Yeah. Let me check in. Throw some words out real quick. What's your words? Throw some words out. Prosperity. What else? Say that again. Imagination. Yes. 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 Love. Magic. Grace. What else? Yeah. He's very good. Yeah. You know, there's a we spoke about this before, but they said that you know, in sciences, certain sciences says that, you know, that the vibration of a word can last in the space for up to 200 years, you know. It's deep. So we never know that who will come into this space when we leave, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's the next day, whether it's the next week, whether it's next year, who will still feel the vibration of every word we just said, you know, in this space. That's pure magic and pure truth, you know, when we know that we have the power to move things just by a word, just by speaking something good into existence. How powerful is that, to know you that kind of creator?
In Atlanta, Georgia, Abyss.
Oh, dog back. Whoa, whoa, hey, whoa, that in the air? Gunpowder. It's like they really don't care about us. It's like the powers that be done lost their grip, and you not above the law. Karma wants a kiss. Break out the riot gear, they pumping a black fist. You done woke a sleeping giant, they madder than shit. Hey, what's that in the air? Gunpowder. It's like they really don't care about us. They kill our sons before they get a chance to shine. Kill our dreams so we can't expand our minds. Taught me old English, pulling on a Newport. It used to be sky's the limit, now life's too short. Most of this is self-inflicted excuses, piss poor. Addicted to this chicken shit, I wish I ate fish more. What's that in the air? Gunpowder. It's like they really don't care about us. Whoa. Hey, whoa. I was born on the east side, city of motors. We grinding so hard that we gonna need rotors. Old heads said don't do the stuff that they showed us, but we could walk like giants on the tops of their shoulders. School of hard knock where they bartered in boulders. They gotta pack heat because where we stay at colder. Some work a 9 to 5, I work my 16s. You got to be nice when your flow is mean. I took the minimum and I went extreme. These are Malcolm X games by any means. Chasing your vision mean pushing your dream. They call it underground, we seeing it mainstream. Had a premonition, they labeled it pipe dream, so I gave them my light. Sun rays, the moon beams. That's day and night, we moving like light beams. If you're not enlightened, it turns into sightseeing. Just a dose of the Kendrick, tapped into my inner Hendrix. I'm just a messenger, it's only right that I send it. What's that in the air? Gunpowder. It's like they really don't care about us. Whoa, where you at, family? Hey, whoa, hey, oh, hey, whoa. What happens when you can't breathe and the long arm trying to put you to sleep and they won't stop till you're 6 feet deep? Control yourself before it's blood in these streets now. The revolution is coming. The revolution is here. The revolution is coming. The revolution is here. Abyss.
In New Orleans, you find your gifts at an early age, and you know it's your ticket to your destiny. As a young girl, Caren Green began singing in local churches. Now today, she is one of the most prolific messengers in the country. Her ability to teach, speak, and sing has made her a gift to the universe.
Spirituality has always played a major part in my art. Its importance starts like from a little girl. I can remember times when I would have encounters at church, growing up singing in church, and always being able to connect the dots through stories. And when I got older, I began to write in the way that I saw things spiritually, in my dreams, the way revelation came to me. And I don't know any other way to tell the story than to combine the music and the words, because I'm a visual learner, visual thinker, and so henceforth I'm a visual artist.
From New Orleans, Louisiana, Caren Green.
You are the air I breathe, the song I sing, the constant in my melody. You are the peace in my song. I'll protect you from my harm. You are the reason why I live my life. I live in a city of ghosts, where the concrete bleeds And the crowds quiet water seeds of broken hearts and promises, mental swoons, political harnesses. See, I live in a place of fear, where hushed mouths reap sleepless nights, and Nero's crosses run rampant. See, they using babies as satanic sacrifice. The covenant housing, it covets no haven. It's the volunteers with hearts and the hired that's hazing. See, I greet them with love. They greet cold and brazen. See, I live in a place of bones. I knock on doors, no one's home. It's not local, this famine roams. Invisible powder, poof, inhale, you're gone. See, forensics is just in, and it uncovers the reason for death. Disobedient Malcolms and Luthers on meth. Roses in corners, fame-seeking daughters, priests feeding mouths, son-sucking masters, asatas, no fathers, no fathers. Mothers playing friends with their seeds. 2-year-olds cussing, it's funny indeed. 1960, they used to say, yes, ma'am, Miss Green. Now we're in 2017 and we're like, explicits, please look, who are you raising? Are you raising criminals that were meant to be kings? Night after night, destroying our soon-to-be queens. Night after night, these mothers were living cowards, ripping them at the seams. Do they even have a chance with you? See, I live in a world where evil sharecroppers rip hymens off of cherry vines much too soon. Plenty spirits, plenty wines, and it grabs the future from behind, humming deserts while water cries. Give me them to purify. I scream Potter from on high. Give me your hands, Father. I'll shape their minds, removing curses and easing wines and building hedges to protect the wombs that bake the dreams and hold the tools. See, my baby's got gifts to heal and shift the room, the world, kingdom building blooms, prophecies on bows and natural curls that huddle. They speak your word, Father, through light whispers and immature muscles. I sculpt an army to go in the deep and travel lands, because they, unlike children, they love so innocently. I sculpt them to be just who you designed them to be. So I say hashtag enemy, hashtag you, hashtag must, hashtag flee. See, I speak life to my seeds, the ones that I planted and the ones that I see. The children in havoc, the children in reach, the children everywhere that be. I sculpt for them, I sculpt for their lives. And with life I say, let there be light. See, darkness always wants what shines real bright. You can smother the fire, but the right spark can make it ignite. Be the light. 'Cause you are the air I breathe, the song I sing, the constant in my melody. You are the peace in my song. I'll protect you from my home. You are the reason why I live my life. You are God's gift to me, and I don't take that lightly. I love you. I am your mommy. So the streets won't have to. So the streets won't have to raise you. I will. Bless.
Thank y'all for coming out. Peace and love. Good night.